Hi everybody, it's Christina from Pretty Distressed. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be making over something that I had previously painted, and I get this question a lot. Can I paint over wax or something that's already chalk painted? And so I'm gonna put that to the test today, show you guys how I'm gonna do it, and I'm shopping for a piece of furniture in my house, which is something I think that you can do right now too. So if you wanna see how I make this piece over today, just keep watching. If you are new here, I am a furniture painter and refinisher, and you will find me on here making over pieces of furniture, turning them into new creations, paint comparisons, all that stuff having to do with furniture painting. So think about subscribing before you leave. So we are really being encouraged to stay home the month of April, and I know some of us who are working at home, who aren't essential workers, are kind of going a little stir crazy. So I wanted to show you guys that you can totally make over something you have around your house. So I went shopping in my house for a piece that I thought needed a little bit of a makeover. I painted this piece. It was like the second piece I ever painted. So my technique has changed a lot since I first painted this piece, and it's just seen a lot of wear and tear because it's been in my kids' playroom. So I'm gonna be updating it today. I went into my closet and just picked out items that I wanted to play with. I've really been wanting to try this white wax that I have from Jolie. I mentioned it when I gave you my chalk painting closet tour. Once I picked my paint for this project, I actually reached out to my friends at Jolie just to check that they are still shipping and fully operational, and right now they are, and they expect to be shipping through April, and they wanted to give you guys a little incentive to stay home and be creative as well. So they're gonna give you 10% off with this exclusive code that they gave me the whole month of April. It's STAY-IN10, so let's stay in and paint some stuff. I'm gonna link everything that I use in today's video down in that description box. Sorry for the construction noise. One day they won't be building houses in my backyard, but right now they are. And if you hear kids fighting, hopefully you won't, but you know, my kids are home too, so there you go. Okay, and the first thing I'm gonna do is clean my piece off. I am using Dawn soap and some hot water. And I just wipe it down with clean water, and I will dry the whole thing off. But when I was first starting out, I just painted over everything like this because it was easier. Okay, I think I'll be happier with those gone. So since this has been painted before, I'm gonna take my Jolie sanding pads and scuff it up a bit before I add my paint. I'm gonna use the medium grit one, so this is the darker one that comes in those packs. I got my tech cloth and I'm gonna wipe it down. I've used this paint on a couple of projects, so I know I'm gonna use the rest of it on this project, so I'm just gonna work out of the can today. If you're not gonna use your whole can on the piece that you're working on, I usually pour it out into a separate container just because I just don't want the paint to get contaminated. This is preference. I like to water down my paint a little bit. You can definitely go on full strength if you want. Got my Jolie small signature brush that I'm gonna be painting with today. I left these pretty loose so that I could move them around, and then once I'm done with the piece, I will tighten them back up. I'm gonna be doing the basic finish, so this first coat, I'm just really gonna get it on and paint in every direction. I know this looks navy going on, but as this dries, it gets darker and darker. We'll see how many coats I have to do since I'm going on top of a lighter color like this. It's usually the opposite of what I'm doing. I'm usually taking something really dark and making it lighter. So we'll see how many coats we have to do. You could also strip this paint off if you don't want to paint over it and have lots of layers of paint on here, but since this coat that I did wasn't that thick. I'm not too worried about this looking that chunky and stuff, so we're just painting right over it. Let this first coat dry 20 minutes to an hour. It just needs to be dry to the touch to recoat for your second coat. And this coat goes on just the way the first coat did in every direction. And I decided to grab my Jolie artist brushes to get in some of the little nooks and crannies of this piece. I'm going in and doing some third coat touch-ups. The first step in sealing the piece is I am going to use Jolie clear wax all over the entire piece. So I have two wax brushes that I'm using today. One is the large wax brush and the other one is the small pointed one. You definitely don't need both, but I have both, so I'm going to show you how to use both of them today. If I had to pick one, I probably would get the pointed one, especially for a piece like this because it has the detail that you're going to need that pointed one to get into. But I really do like the big one as well because you can do a whole flat surface really quickly. This is going to seal the paint and it's going to prepare it to take the decorative white wax that I'm going to use next. When you wipe down, you really want to make sure that you use a lint-free cloth. These are my absolute favorite. They are wiping cloths by Intex and they're lint-free. When I go to wipe down the piece, I'm just using really light pressure. You don't want to take all the wax off that you just put on and you don't want to buff it just quite yet. You are just giving light pressure to take off any excess. I always recommend using clear wax before you add a decorative wax, whether it be white, brown, or black. It's just a lot easier to control your decorative wax if you have clear on top first. While my clear wax is still wet is when I like to add my detailed wax. So I'm gonna grab my can of finishing wax in white and I'm gonna grab one of those little detailed artist brushes. I like this one because it's pointy and I can really get into the details. So I'm gonna take this white wax and work it into the detail. I'm being really sparing with it because I don't wanna overdo it. I just wanna use a really light hand because I can always go in and add more if I want to. But I'm just gonna put it in any area where it's kind of sinking in. Once I get the wax on, I take a clean cloth again and wipe back any of that excess. Just to remind you, here is what I started off with, and here is what my piece looks now that it's had a little makeover. I had a lot of fun doing this piece. It looks completely different. I liked the old one, don't get me wrong, but it's fun to just have this updated after it's been painted for a few years. I love the look of the white wax and the way it contrasts the really dark, rich black Noir paint. I definitely think this look is easy enough for a beginner to try, and I proved that you can paint over a previously painted and waxed piece, and everything went on really smoothly. Thanks for joining me for today's project. I hope you feel inspired to go paint something in your house. If you have something in mind, put it in the comment box. I want to hear what it is. If you want to send me before and afters, you can find all my contact information at prettydistressed.com. I always love to see what you guys are working on. You can tag me on Instagram or DM it to me, whatever you want to do. I'll be back next week with another project. Thanks for being here, you guys. Stay safe, and I will see you next time. Pretty Distressed Com to get Pretty Distressed Com. All my info you can find at Pretty Distressed Com to, why can't, oh my goodness. I hope I'm recording because I don't even know if I am. Should I check? Oh, I am. Yay!
Oh, I have some candy.
Candy?
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. You can have candy after dinner. Okay, thanks. That is contoured. That's kind of. So I'm taking this white wax and I'm kind of contouring. So I'm gonna take this white wax and, well, I am kind of contouring.